Hi, Erin Frame with the Joseph Frame Group at Long Realty, here with
Ian Brandon, Nova Home Loans.
with another bodacious episode of the Lowdown.
Yes.
Oh God,
Don't do that.
not with the light-colored shirt.
That's
on.
right.
Nah. So hey, we're back.
We are back.
We had a week off. Poor
Yeah.
Ian was a little sick last week.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling too hot.
No, too much to drink probably.
Probably.
That's a good odds.
But yeah, it's kind of hard to do video when you're not feeling good.
No, you gotta feel it.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about.
We're going to talk about documentation for loans.
Yeah, so exciting.
Yeah, the title is Good Job, Money in the Bank, Prove It, right?
Which is what Ian says often.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason why I want to talk about this is because I think that people understand that, okay, you got to provide stuff. You got to provide bank statements. You got to provide pay stubs and tax returns sometimes and W-2s, right? No big deal. So they provide it, and then they get asked for more stuff, right? And then that's where the stress starts to come in play for a lot of consumers. They're like, well, I provided that. Isn't that good enough?
Because that's what we think.
Right.
That's all we need.
Yeah, you asked for this, I gave you that, we're done.
Yep.
Why do I need to provide anything else?
Yeah.
Right? So I wanted to talk about that today to help the understanding. Because what I've learned in this business is when people get upset about something, it's not because they're mad at you, it's because they don't understand. So all you
It's
gotta
nerve-wracking.
It is.
It is. It's like going. Okay, anyway, I'll tell a story later.
No, you tell
No, I just mean it's one of those things. Like, what if something pops up that shouldn't be there? What if I always feel like there's things like that happen. You know,
No,
kind of like going through security at the airport. I always get nervous because I think, what if there's something on me? I don't know I don't know. I seriously feel that way.
Someone put a coin in your back pocket.
Seriously, something you're not supposed to have. I always get a little nervous. So you know.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of how it is, right? So, and that's why the additional questions. So one of the things is bank statements and assets.
Yeah.
Assets and bank statements are one of the most frustrating things on both sides. It's not like I'm looking at bank statements saying, oh man, or yay, I get to ask for more stuff, right?
And people probably feel like it's invading their privacy.
Totally.
Yeah.
Especially if the funds don't come from them.
Yeah.
Gift funds are the worst. Well, not the worst, they're good. But when we have to document gift funds from a family member, it makes it more invasive.
Absolutely.
Because here's the thing, guys, the thing about assets is it's part of the Patriot Act. Did you know that?
No.
So prior to 9/11, you could buy a house, cash, briefcase, handcuffed to your wrist, take it down to the title office of the courthouse.
I did not know that.
You could pay cash for a house.
Wow.
Well, that's how the terrorists laundered their money.
Oh.
They paid cash for homes in the U.S., then sold them, clean money, right?
Yeah.
So the FBI, that's who monitors mortgage fraud, they discovered this and they're like, well, man, how are we going to combat this? So there's two ways they do it. One, if there's any deposits larger than $10,000 in your bank account, the bank is responsible for doing a background check on those funds.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Anything above $10,000 in a 30-day period, and you're doing a mortgage, you really the mortgage company, it's their responsibility. So really, what the mortgage companies do is they're like, well, man, that's a lot of responsibility on me. So we really want to source everything over about 1% of their income, right? So if there's a large deposit that gets deposited, it's our responsibility to see where that money came from.
Interesting, yeah.
Because if it came from an undocumentable, unsourceable place, can't use it.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So gift funds,
So drug dealing's not an option.
Well, it is if it's sourced and the bank clears it, right? So you gotta wait 3 months, but no, I'm just kidding.
We're just kidding.
But yeah, so like gift funds from grandma.
Yeah.
Right? Grandma wants to give their grandchild money for a down payment on a house. Oh, honey, here's a check for $10,000. They put the check in the bank, and they're buying a house, and they don't know. Guess what? I need a gift letter from grandma, and then I need a copy of the check. That's easy to get. But then I need grandma's bank statement too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Yeah. Because I need to prove that grandma didn't sell some drugs, right? Essentially.
Longer money. Yeah, sure.
So it gets a little invasive, guys. So, you know, it's a good public service announcement to just let everyone know. If you're buying a home, or if you're planning on buying a home, keep your money in one place and just leave it there. Some people want to say, oh, okay, it's been in my savings, I'm going to transfer it to my checking. Oh, but I need to write a check for the down payment, but I don't want to come from these checks because I don't have checks in that account, so I'm going to move it over here. Those 3 different transfers all have to be sourced.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it becomes a nightmare on the financial side, and then we're the ones having to ask for it. Then they're the ones that are like, man, you guys are asking for way too much.
So then what do you recommend? Or not recommend, well, I guess recommend, but what advice do you give somebody that's getting ready to get pre-qualified for a loan to be prepared for?
So if you have money in a savings account, leave it there. Don't touch it, and you can get a cashier's check direct from that savings account at the bank at the end, and all we need is that savings account bank statement.
So just don't move money.
Leave it.
Yeah.
If you're going to get gift funds, if you're expecting a large sum of money, especially gift funds, have them send the gift funds directly to the title company. They send it directly to title. We don't have to verify that it went into their account and then back out of their account.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, so we're avoiding their bank statements altogether.
Yeah.
Right? And
I think you did that with one of our clients.
I probably did.
Danielle, and I think you did, because I think it was at title. Anyway, and I was wondering about that. That's interesting.
Why is the money already here?
Yeah. Because it's good like that.
It's just that
education.
It's a smart way to eliminate a lot of the hoops and hurdles that you got to jump through. You know.
Really interesting. So just be transparent. Don't make a whole lot of movements with your money when you're thinking about doing these.
And if you do want to make some movements, if you want to set yourself up and say, you know what, I'm going to buy a house later this year, put that money all in one bank account and just save it there. If you're saving as you go, you know, your payroll deposits that go into your checking account, those are easily traceable by the pay stubs that we have to collect anyway.
Yeah.
So they all match up, right? So pay stubs, don't worry about that. And if you have a statement that has a checking and a savings on it, and you want to move money between those 2 accounts, that's a piece of cake.
Okay, so no worries there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you start involving other bank accounts from other places, it's doable. It's doable. It's completely doable. But just keep in mind that you're going to have to do a good job at record keeping. Okay.
Interesting.
And another thing I wanted to bring up is I hear this so many times. I went through this process of getting qualified for a loan, and I gave them everything, and then I had to give it to them all over again. Right? You've heard that.
I have.
Okay. So there's 2 things about that. Number 1, if you provide something up front, a lot of those documents expire as time goes on.
And what's a normal expiration date?
I would say 60 days. So if you have pay stubs from November, they're no good anymore. A bank statement from December is probably going to want to be updated.
And that would be probably because you haven't found a house yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of what you're saying? So
you're
already
shopping.
pre-qualified, you're shopping, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So pay stubs and bank statements, guaranteed. Just keep, what I would advise people to do is keep a folder of all the stuff that you're sending your loan officer, right? Copy yourself on it and just keep it in an email folder and just call it the home loan folder, right? That way, if you do get asked for it again, just take it from that folder and forward the original.
Yeah, to say, I already sent it.
Yeah, here it is. Here you go. Told ya.
Yeah.
Right? But
that's the best when you forward, because they're like, yeah, I did. I think you've done that to me, but I mean, here's the thing. No, I get it.
Everyone gets so many emails these days, right? So it's easy to overlook something like that. So don't be too upset if they ask you again. And if you do that simple secret, well, it's not secret, it's a trick, really.
Yeah.
If you do that, you're organized. It's an easy forward.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I had no idea. But I hear this a lot, and it is, I think, and it feels like an invasion of privacy. I just think you have to be ready for these things. You can't expect somebody to lend you money if you can't give a little.
And if you're an agent watching, just like you just learned that this is the why behind it, do yourselves a favor and educate. Share this. You can share this video with them if you want, but talk to them, talk to your clients about the why, you know, because when I explain to grandma that I have to source your bank statements because of 9/11, well, now grandma's a patriot at that point. She's like, well, hell yeah, I'll give you my bank statements.
Exactly.
You know?
I had no idea that was why.
Yeah, they're very.
I understand. It
Very
totally
close
makes
to their
sense,
money.
you know?
The second they understand, and I say we're combating terrorism right now.
Well, it's even like trying to deposit cash into somebody else's account
Yeah.
or our account. You have to show ID. It's
Yeah.
like not. It's crazy.
And that's why.
Because we'll try to like deposit into a family member's account, whatever, and you can't do cash. It's got to be a check, or now luckily we have Zelle and all those things that we can transfer in between accounts. Which
Right.
is that would that be a better way? Like if grandma was going to transfer funds,
any
even though it's like
even
let's
though
say they're
it's a
both
Zelle,
same bank, yeah.
The only thing the Zelle eliminates is the document of the check.
Yeah.
So it eliminates
And
the
it's
need for a
immediate.
check. So we would still need grandma's bank statement
Okay.
to show that it came out of her grandma's account and into the kid's account.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So agents, help us out. Educate your clients.
Yeah. It's
Say-
all about education.
And give them that as a heads up.
Mhm.
You know, this is the process. This is the loan process. They're going to ask you for stuff, and then they're going to ask you for it
Mhm.
again.
Yep.
That's normal, and this is why.
And just be ready for it.
Yeah.
Because it is a stressful process, but you know, being prepared and knowing what's happening
Mhm.
before you even start the process is going to be very valuable, I feel.
And the over documentation that we feel
Mhm.
sometimes it's good for our industry because we want to make sure that someone can afford to pay those mortgage payments back, right?
And I think it's a good idea for everyone.
We went through a
To
time.
be able to just sign.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then look where that got us.
I could tell you a story.
So
Seriously.
we don't want to go there again.
Mhm.
So we document everything.
Well, that's awesome.
So prove it.
Prove it. Till next time.
Okay.
Peace out.
Peace out.